Hello, hello, hello! Welcome back. Here's your filthy commie disco dancing. Right on the webcam. I don't know if this is disco dancing or not, I'm just kind of bopping. It's a hell of a banger, though. Yes, welcome back to Let's Play Disco Elysium. Yes, I'm streaming 2 nights in a row. Some shit's going on, but I've got some free time, and this makes me feel better, so here we go. Hi, DLF. You're right, my ISP did decide we were done for us. The good news is I was about to cut it anyway, like literally I was like about to launch into my spiel after I still didn't make the conceptualization check at the wall. But, right then is when it cut off anyway. So yeah, whatever, we'll just be done. Hey, Lone Wonder, it's good to see you, my most stalwart fan, all these years. As off and on as I am. How are you, my friend? Such a pleasure to see you. Likewise. I guess you were here for the first one, so I'll let you know I actually started over last night with, just to do it mainly to tweak my build a little bit. The biggest reason is I didn't realize what a limited resource thoughts were, and that if you wanted to unequip a thought later on, you actually had to spend skill points to do it. So, and I also, even kind of over the course of that first session, I realized that a more balanced build is actually better for this game than min-maxing is. So, that said, we got much farther last night than we did in the first stream anyway. Specifically, we found the ultra-liberal priestess of capital, Joyce Messier, and I already set enough left-wing insanity to unlock the Mazovian socioeconomics thought. We have rolled up our sleeves and engaged the great communism builder. You'll notice I have money. I made the volition check to just go ahead and ask the priestess of capital for some money so I could survive, and of course she just gave it to me because what the fuck does she care? But this game is just so good. It's so good. I can't get over how fucking good it is. See, I got my tear bag and my pry bar. On the cover stands a very muscular man surrounded by flames. The book is titled Man from Hjeldendal and the Wildfire. This book has a rose, a pistol, and a half-naked dame on its cover. Crime, romance, and biographies of famous people. This is a book about pate. This book, you don't really understand what it is about, nor does it seem important. A book about Boyadero culture. It promotes freedom and roaming upstream. A book about the future. The government reads your mind using radio technology. Alright, there'll be tear in this bin. A little more money. Let's go ahead and grab that. And now, let's talk to this person.
Hello, sir. Step right in. The store is open.
Annette. A young girl with chubby red cheeks waves at you, smiling. Her nose is also red from the cold. Hello, I am the law. Hi. Oh, come on. Hi, hello.
Are you interested in a new and exciting book?
She stomps her feet to feel warmer. Not really. Leave. Is it okay if I ask you some questions? What kind of a store is this anyway?
It's a bookstore, sir. We sell books, postcards, and some board games. It's called Crime, Romance, and Biographies of Famous People.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold your horses, little girl.
Oh, I failed the passive encyclopedia check. Devastating. Oh my god, Lone Wonder, I'm so sorry to hear that. Like, that's terrible. That's really awful. I'm sorry, man. I'm going through some shit here too. It's nothing I can really say on camera, but let's commiserate in our negativity over Twitch, shall we? What is a book? What's a postcard? What's a board game? Don't be ridiculous, I know all these things.
That is a book. They have stories inside them. It's like someone told you a story in a really long letter.
What's a postcard?
A postcard is a small cardboard picture. You can write a few words on the other side and send it to your friend or beloved.
She observes you for a moment. What's a board game?
Board games are like little games on a table, made to pass the time. There are several different ones, but sailors here mostly buy cards.
She pauses to ponder. Interesting, thanks.
My pleasure. Anything else you'd like to know?
5 XP. Is it okay if I ask you some questions?
Okay, sir. I'll try to answer any questions you have. I hope they're about books.
What is your name? What is this crime business? What is romance? Who are these famous people? Okay, got it. See you around. What is your name?
My name is Annette, sir. My mum, her name is Plaisance. She owns the store. She's inside, minding the register, or organising the stock.
The girl gazes at the window, then suddenly jolts, her eyes wide, as if recalling something.
Feel free to step in and browse our wares.
Okay, I guess I will. And you're standing out here in the cold because...
I'm signalling that the store is open. Otherwise people might not know. They'd miss out on the crime, romance, and biographies of famous people.
She nods eagerly. I could help. Oh man, I think the more lefty shit I say, the more lefty shit I'm gonna have the chance to say. This is amazing. I should have a word with the store owner, maybe? Such a good trooper you are, already learning the value of hard work. Pat her head. I could help by brutally dismantling the free market.
Thank you, sir. I'm glad to help Mum out with the store.
Yes, achievement! Biggest communism builder! Employ critical theory 9 times! Boom! Oh, this is perfection. This is exactly what I need. I don't know about you, Lone Wonder. She doesn't seem to understand what you said. Shouldn't you be at school or something?
I do my studies at home at the moment. I have to help Mum keep this place running.
What is school anyway? School is stupid. You're lucky not to be there. Isn't going to school more important than this?
Mum says it's necessary to do both because it builds character. Mum says a proper worker is dutiful. That's how you get ahead in life. You succeed.
There is stress and unease behind these words. She's reciting etiquette.
How's the business going?
Mum says it's peachy. She was a little afraid at first. There's talk about this house being cursed.
She looks over her shoulder.
Behind her, the window has been boarded up. You sense the boards creaking, twisting for a second, and some kind of doubt in her tense shoulders.
Good to hear that it's going well. I'm sure there's nothing to worry about. Cursed? In what way?
Cursed in the way that makes them say that no business has ever really thrived here, sir. That they all go...
She's looking for the right word. Say nothing. Ass up. Bankrupt.
Exactly. But we've been doing fine so far.
I don't think curses are real. This sounds rather serious. I should probably look into this. Narrow your eyes and look through the creaking boards on the window.
We can go into the bookstore and ask about the case, but I don't see much more to look into here.
The lieutenant makes a note in his notebook.
Yes, please do look at our wares inside. The postcards and board games you asked about are also there, sir.
Stroke your chin. Enough about the curse for now. How does this curse manifest itself? What do you know about the other failed businesses?
Nothing really, sir. Mum doesn't allow me to sneak around in the back rooms or the cellar.
She looks a bit
I don't know
disappointed.
what's there.
How does this curse manifest itself?
It does not manifest itself in any way. It does not exist. I liked it better when we were talking about whether it's appropriate to stand out in the freezing weather.
Fine, I'll show you. But Kim, the plasmic manifestations.
No such thing.
The lieutenant stands at your side, stern and serious.
Anything else you wanted to talk about, sir?
The girl looks back and forth between you two. Enough about the curse for now.
Maybe I can tell you about some of our books instead.
Annette looks at your shaved, prickly chin. It distinctly contrasts with the oily mutton chops that surround it. What is this crime business?
It's the type
what's
where
it?
there's a rich lady and she has to choose between the good man and the bad man.
She smiles at the thought, perhaps imagining herself in that situation. What is romance?
Or there could be a story about a poor lady getting a rich man. It's about man and lady business, sir.
It's enough romance for me. I had other questions. What about a book where the man and lady business doesn't work out at all? What about when everyone is poor? What about when both of the men are bad? What about a poor man getting a rich lady?
It happens, but usually the guy gets rich in the process. Or should actually be rich himself, but has lost his family property unjustly, like during the revolution or something.
They've got romance stories pretty well fucking pegged, don't they? Oh, that's good to know. I see.
Those are unhappy books, for most of the pages. People sad about what they have lost, but then it all turns out just fine in the end.
What about when both of the men are bad?
These are not very common. You can't have a choice between bad and bad. Nobody wants to read a story like that.
What if it's written really well?
Well, maybe then it's fine. Maybe if the lady then decides not to pick either, because she doesn't need a bad man. Yes, that would be interesting.
What about when everyone is poor?
That's really not a proper romance story. That's more like everyday life.
Ain't that the truth, too? Yeah, poor people are boring. Sometimes you have to write about real-life things.
Not in romance books, sir. These are about nice and pretty people, and everyone is happy in the end.
What about a book where the man and lady business doesn't work out at all?
I haven't read many of those. Maybe you should ask Mum.
Maybe I will. Yeah? You think she has one about an excruciatingly painful breakup?
I don't think it's a romance story if the main characters break up, though.
She pauses, trying to figure out the appropriate answer. Oh, goodness. Okay. No, think about it. One where they plunge into a torrid spiral of pain and recrimination. Only it's really long and drawn out, scarred for life, phantom limb.
No, I don't know.
She looks at you with puzzlement. Doesn't ring a bell? Alright, I'll ask your mom.
Yes, she knows books, definitely.
She nods, relieved.
What was that? An idea for an unfinished novel stuck somewhere in your forebrain?
That's enough romance for me. I had other questions.
Maybe some about other books?
She rubs her chilled nose with her fist. Okay, what is this crime business?
Crime fiction is about murders or burglaries or things like that, and the work of a policeman or a private detective who's trying to solve a crime and catch the criminals.
Wait, not crime fiction. I need to know what crime is. Why would anyone want to read about crime? Okay, I get it. Crime, murder gets the people going. Wait, not crime fiction. I need to know what crime is. She doesn't know what to say. It's that bad.
Crime is what we were solving before this conversation began.
Why would anyone want to read about crime?
It's exciting to people, I guess. They get to imagine dangerous things, and it's kind of like a puzzle, where you can guess who the criminal is, or how the good guys are going to catch him.
I'm a policeman myself, by the way.
You don't look much like a policeman.
She examines you as if to find something policeman-like. Okay, then maybe I'm not a policeman, or should stop being one. Huh, well what does a cop look like then?
Didn't mean to offend, sir. Sorry, sir. It's just that you don't look like Dick Mullen.
She points to a book cover on which you see a strapping Vespertine officer. He stands grimly over the body of a dead woman. I used to be exactly like that Mullen guy, then I decided to live a little. You know, nobody actually looks like the guy in the picture, that's just a stupid fantasy of a man. It's not your body that's important in police work anyway, it's your... Wow, look at the guy. I'll never be as good as Mullen. I actually had other questions. Let's go with, nobody actually looks like the guy in the picture. That's just a stupid fantasy of a man.
She looks at Dick Mullen, frowning. He isn't even drawn right.
He isn't even drawn right. This is not how human shoulders work. The perspective is all wrong.
She examines the picture, trying to find whatever is wrong with it. She then shrugs and puts the book aside, unconvinced.
That's just no way to cop. I can do it way better than Dick Mullen.
Sure you can, sir. He's just a fictional character. He'll be no match for you.
She smiles mischievously.
Maybe you can show me some real police work, sir. Like in the books.
The cover image of Dick Mullen seems to stare at you with harsh disapproval. A formidable composure check. Even 58%. +1 anxious body language, +1 afraid of the curse, but it is a white check. I can come back later. Let's try it!
You fail to deduce anything substantial.
Damn!
She waits intently.
I'm a detective. I deduce that you are a girl. I'm a detective. I deduce that you are very small. Actually, I'm sorry. I can't deduce anything.
It's okay, sir.
A small disappointment rolls over her, but she promptly gets over it and says,
You disappointed a small child. Well done, Jen.
Oh no, I lost morale. Who are these famous people?
Oh, kings and queens and generals of old, or artists and writers, or musicians, those kinds of people. There's usually something extraordinary about them.
She scratches her cold reddened cheek, then continues.
I think that's why people read them, to find the secrets of their fame.
Seems like most people who read those books fail to get more famous from reading them.
Right, I had a different question in mind. Reading those doesn't make the readers more famous, does it?
But it does make the famous people more famous.
She smiles gleefully. These famous people sound like a bunch of dorks. Fame is for vain people. I have better things to do. Fame sounds delicious. Maybe someone will write a book about me one day. I gotta think about this one for a second. I think probably number 2, but I don't know, because not everyone famous is vain. Like, some people get famous just for doing really good work. But it really doesn't sound delicious. It's always actually sounded kind of hellish to me. I don't want to call them a bunch of dorks either. I don't really love any of these options. I guess I'll go with 2, but know that I personally don't really align with any of these 3.
Okay, sir.
She stamps her feet, waiting for what comes next. Okay, bye. See you around, Annette. Oh, I just got more tear, that's all. In we go. There's a lot in here. Gift books and molten candy.
The display rack is brimming with worn paperbacks featuring an extremely muscular, sword-wielding barbarian on the cover. Nearly all the titles contain the word Hyundai somewhere.
Here, let's talk to her first. Except for the ones that are just look at something. Old sports magazines tucked away in a dark corner. Another boring book just discarded here. A quaint picture book brochure, very colorful. It's a tome of fascist magic, rather candid. Oh, Lone Wonder, thank you so much. God, 74 months. Have I really even... Like, I just have to pause and realize, like, grok the fact that, you know, it's not like that there have been windows where I did it really consistently, especially when, you know, I still lived in Fort Collins and was doing it in the morning before I went to work, but it's really hard for me to believe I've had this channel affiliated for more than 6 years now, let alone that I've had somebody subbed that long. Thank you so much, my friend. I'm glad you're here tonight. I'm not glad that you're hurt. The book collects the national recipes of Arda. They are all about lake trout. Humane entertainment. Oh my goodness! All the way back to where it started, the Let's Ghost Thief videos. That's a blast from the past, from some games that are still among my absolute all-time favorites. Thank you so much for the visit, for the chat. I'm glad that you streamed the Thief games. I love the... You know, I'm not a VR person, but even though it is a VR game, I'm actually really excited the series isn't dead. And Stephen Russell is voicing Garrett again in 2025. Like, have to find our joy where we can, don't we? Anyway, welcome back. Welcome to the stream. It's good to have you. All right. That's all the easy ones. Let's have a chat with the mom.
Welcome to Crime, Romance, and Biographies of Famous People. My name is Plaisance.
The clerk extends a greeting.
Be welcome, and please take responsibility for the energy you bring into this space.
No thanks, leave. So, are you the owner of this store? Before we go on, you seem to be well off enough. Can you give me some money? I feel there won't be an opportune moment to ask later. I'm not going to do that. I already have enough money to pay back Gart. So, are you the owner of this store?
I am the proudest owner of our little shop of culture.
Her voice is high-pitched, as if to give it more penetration. What if I want to buy a book? The girl outside mentioned that this place is cursed. Farewell for now, book peddler. Your daughter is the one standing outside the store, right?
Annette, yes, my daughter. I hope she wasn't slacking off again with her nose in science fiction. Tell me, was she at her post doing her job like a proper girl?
It doesn't matter, now tell me something else. No, she was definitely slacking off. Yes, of course.
Wonderful. Did you talk to her?
Not really. Yes.
Great. On a scale of 1 to 10, how compelled were you to buy books after talking with her?
I'm not going to grade a human being. I don't do that. 1, not impressed. 5, I felt some interest. 10, she's certainly very polite and helpful.
Come now, it's not personal. It's about proper sales practices and market research. I expect an answer.
She crosses her arms. 10, she's certainly very polite and helpful.
My precious, her dedication brings joy to my heart. If you have children, I hope they turn out as great as my Annette.
She's immensely satisfied with the answer. Okay, let's change the subject. Annette is quite the trooper. She's a great value add. The way you're handling her strikes me as wrong. I'm here to dismantle the free market and abolish child labor.
You must be kidding. There's nothing like that happening.
She rolls her eyes. Depends. How much do you pay the kid?
Good sir. What does a young child do with money anyway? No, I save it for her, as a fund. She's securing her financial future out there.
Just a second. Oh, I guess I was mistaken.
Indeed. Are we done with the jokes now?
Her voice is decisive and sharp as a knife.
Yes, we've had quite enough fun here.
The lieutenant taps his foot. Okay, let's change the subject. The way you're handling her strikes me as wrong.
Mind your own business, sir. In our society, people don't get to tell each other how to raise their children. It's none of your or anyone's business.
Her posture becomes very rigid.
Denial is the way she copes with criticism.
Okay, let's change the subject.
The woman before you scans the store, her shoulders rigid and tense. Every now and then, she nudges her glasses.
The girl outside mentioned that this place is cursed.
Cursed? Who said that? Annette? I will have a word with her. This place is not cursed. It has a robustly magnetic energy. Good for commercial activity. My business is thriving, sir.
She blinks. What if I want to buy a book?
Goodness, you were already doing good, browsing the shelves. Why'd you stop? Don't you feel compelled? Go, go. Get back there. The books await you.
She fiddles her pendant, then waves her bony fingers directly at you. Alright, I'll take a look then. So what types of books do you have?
Everything is on the shelves. Take a look yourself. The shelves compel you, don't they?
She nudges her glasses. Alright, I'll take a look then.
She smiles and nods, seemingly relieved.
Farewell for now, book peddler. Alright, now let's browse the bookshelves.
The display rack is brimming with worn paperbacks featuring an extremely muscular, sword-wielding barbarian on the cover. Nearly all the titles contain the word Hyundal somewhere.
Look through the display of books. Storekeep, tell me about the Muscle Man books.
Oh, Man from Hyundal. A very popular series of adventure novels. They're awfully immoral and violent books.
She looks at the book with some disdain. Why are they so popular?
Blood and violence, scantily clad women, epic narratives, all those mystical things he encounters. They're bound to grab those with little imagination and nothing to do.
That doesn't sound like something I'd be interested in. Sounds good! Which one should I start with?
What does it matter? They're all the same. However, the customer is always right, they say.
She rolls her eyes, then fiddles with her pendant.
If you're a novice of the series, I'd recommend Hyundalaman, the man from Hyundal. It's supposed to be a good introduction to the series.
I want to buy the Hyundallar Man book. Look through the display of books.
Rows and rows of Hyundala men blur your vision. You make out some titles. Man from Hyundal and the Mammoth Riders. Man from Hyundal, Return to Hyundal. And the Solipsistic, Man from Hyundal and the Hyundal Man.
Good God, how many are there? Enough. Good God, how many are there?
Maybe 100. Man from Hyundal and the Sages at the End of the World. Man from Hyundal and the False God. Man from Hyundal and the Scorched Earth. Man from Hyundal, the Hyundal Colonies. Man from Hyundal and the Swamp Beast. Man from Hyundal and the Snow Crabs.
Enough. Is that all?
Not even close. Man from Hyundal in Hell. Man from Hyundal and the Forest of Slaves. Man from Hyundal under the lake. Man from Hyundal, Hyundal burning. There's even The Trial of Death, a pastoral combat game book set in the world of Hyundala Man, and so much more.
A pain threshold check. Do any of the books call out to me?
A twinge at the back of your head makes you flinch. Your eye starts twitching.
What is it? Ow!
Your hand reaches toward a book with glossy cover art of the very muscular man from Hyundal in chains, kneeling in front of a staircase leading to a throne. A woman sits on the throne, leering at the man. She's laughing at him, belittling him. Between the throne and the Hyundala man lies a bonfire, casting shadows on the wall. The shadow of the wall looks like a pair of devil horns. The title reads, Man from Hyundal and the Devil Woman.
Interesting. Aren't all women devil women? Storekeep, this book is misogynistic. How can you peddle such filth?
The entire series is also endearingly racist, if I may add.
Oh, thanks, Kim. I love it when Kim chimes in. Especially if it's not about the case, because he's usually so reluctant to engage with my nonsense.
Oh, sirs, I know. This really isn't representative of our values, but the store has to cater to its customers.
The storekeep apologizes immediately.
The display rack before you is burdened under piles of Man from Hyundal novels.
I want to buy the Hyundallar Man book.
Oh yes, certainly. Another good sale.
She rubs her hands together.
You've acquired an interactable item. Investigate this item further by going to the Interact tab in your inventory.
The very short version, Humane, is we woke up. We're the guy in green. Here in the lower left, this is our character. We do not know our name. We woke up in a hotel room after such an epic drinking bender that we literally erased all of our memories. As we slowly got up, got dressed, went downstairs, we've pieced together that we are a police officer who are meant to partner with this detective, Kim Kitsuragi, to investigate a murder. There's a body in the courtyard behind the hotel hanging from a tree that I actually haven't gone to yet. They think that it's tied to a labor dispute, a strike that's going on between the dock workers union and the logistics company Wild Pines. And in learning about the world, we have deduced that 42 years ago, there was a communist revolution, I gotta make sure I have the timing right. I think it's 48 years ago, there was a communist revolution. Maybe 49. It's 51 now. 49. 49 years ago, there was a communist revolution. The communist country lasted for 7 years until a coalition of capitalist governments came in and crushed it. And that coalition is now the ruling power in the city that we live in. And we're actually employed by that coalition government. So, leave. Let's look at our inventory. Interact. Hjelmdaler Man, the man from Hjelmdal. A classic. On the frontispiece, an anatomically unrealistic muscle man is reaching into a mountain stream, yearning to touch his glimmering mirror image. His eyes are full of childlike wonder. On the blood-soaked snow right next to him lie two giant Zweihanders. Interact.
The cover of this tattered paperback features the man from Hjelmdal, standing atop a pile of bloody corpses. His two Zweihanders are crossed over his massive chest in a dramatic X, their blades dripping with gore.
Hell yeah. Seems over the top.
Behind him rise the harsh, snow-capped peaks of his native Northlands. In bold red letters, the title, Hjelmdaler Man, the man from Hjelmdal, unfurls like a banner. In the foreground, a nearly nude woman lies spread in supplication, her privates strategically covered by her flowing black hair. Naked women and giant swords, is that really the best they could come up with? Feels formulaic and derivative.
Put the book away, read the first couple of pages, look at the back cover.
The back blurb reads, his latest adventure serves as the perfect introduction to the savage Hjelmdal saga. Meet man from Hjelmdal, his faithful blood brother Tyribald, the noble Lord Hrothgar, and some of their most fearsome foes yet, for the Northlands, for Hjelmdal. Below, in smaller font, you see the parenthetical, adapted from Man from Hjelmdal and the Necromancer's Treasure, Man from Hjelmdal, Lord of Hrothgar, and Man from Hjelmdal, the Curse of Nacht Hera. A brazen attempt to bilk fans for more money by splicing together old stories under a new title.
Where there's a demand, there's always the supply. Nothing wrong with that. The publishers must have a dim view of their readership.
Their main concern is the continuation of the franchise, not making literary history.
Read the first couple of pages.
The story opens in media res. The man from Hjelmdal and his band of northern reavers are in the bowels of an ancient temple, surrounded by an army of gibbering whites, led by the deathless necromancer. One by one, the brave Northmen fall to the relentless crush of undead, only to join their number as reanimated corpses. By nightfall, only the man from Hjelmdal and his blood brother, noble Tyribald, are left standing against the dead horde. It is an honor to die by your side, brother, Tyribald cries, as his battle axe beheads one of their reanimated comrades.
Wow, they're in trouble now. I'm too old for this.
9, Tyribald. The man from Hjelmdal bellows over the army of flesh and bone. Have courage for the Northlands, for Hjelmdal. He leaps to the mezzanine to face the black-eyed figure, and like a mad ice bear, whirling twin Zweihanders, Sturm and Drang, he plows through the ranks of the deathless, surrounding the necromancer. It is physically impossible for a human being to effectively dual-wield Zweihander swords in any kind of real-life combat situation. twin blades scissor the necromancer's head from its body. The undead legions collapse like ragdolls as the dark magic leaves them, and the two Northmen stand alone in their cursed temple, where the bodies of their lost brothers litter the floors.
I've read enough. Close the book. Skip ahead.
A few chapters later, the man from Hjelmdal and Tyribald are in a completely different setting, high above an arid desert, riding a pair of griffins that always seem to appear at narratively convenient moments. This book makes a mockery of the very idea of good plotting, though something tells you coherence was never the point. The Northmen find themselves in the court of a powerful southern king, Lord Hrothgar. The old king beseeches the man from Hjelmdal to rid his kingdom of the Naktera, a subterranean clan of blind wizards who traded their souls for demonic powers. The man from Hjelmdal extracts a high price from the desperate king. He asks land for the homeless desert pygmies living exiled in the kingdom's borderlands. Hrothgar offers the hand of his eldest daughter instead, but the son of winter does not budge.
That's enough of Man from Hjelmdal for me. Close the book. All aboard for slaughter and glory. Keep reading. Hold on. Why is the man from Hjelmdal doing any of this?
What do you mean?
Never mind. Keep reading. Why is he doing all of this?
Because the flame of justice burns bright within his chest. Because, above all, he's driven to bring honor to the name of his beloved Hjelmdal. Because his noble Cutland blood lusts for glory and conquest. It cannot be denied.
Fair enough. Let's get back in there. Is that all?
What do you mean, is that all?
Is there anything else to his character?
He is the man from Hjelmdal, forged in the fury of battle. Death was his sire, and blood his dam. He had but 14 winters when he left his frigid homelands in Cutla to seek glory and honor. That is his character.
Yes, Humane, the book itself is responding, and when, like, logic or composure or conceptualization chime in, the skills, the stats in this game are there are 24 of them, and they're actually just all different parts of my character's mind that actually, like, talk to each other and to me directly. It's a really, really cool conceit that just opens up so many amazing dialogue possibilities.
He doesn't even have a real name. What is inside this man? Or is muscle and bone all he is?
Never mind, just get to the good part. Okay, but does he have any internal tension?
He is the wildest man alive. The only mortal strong enough to wield the twin Zweihanders, Sturm and Drang, whose names mean storm and...
Yes, I get that. He's strong and has big swords. But why should I care about his character?
What are you, a book critic?
I don't need sass from a discount paperback. Close the book. No, you're right. Let's give this a chance. Keep reading. I might be.
Enough. You're ruining the pacing of the story. Now, where did you leave off? Ah, yes. What pacing? You skip past a section detailing an elaborate banquet with many toasts, as well as the long and perilous journey from Hrothgar's keep to the ancient forest of Yesdar, where our heroes infiltrate the Naktera's dire hall. In the center of the great hall stands a blood altar on which a pair of Naktera are disemboweling a shrieking peasant, an unholy rite that empowers the Naktera forbidden magic. As the vile ceremony ends, the sound of steel unsheathing draws the Naktera's attention to a pair of cloaked figures standing in the doorway. Swiftly, the visitors toss off their cloaks and unsheathe the glimmering northern steel. It's the man from Hjelmdal and his valiant blood brother, Tyribald.
Whoa, I did not see that coming. Well, yeah, who else would it be?
In an instant, the Naktera summon a horde of gibbering orcanoids who rush our heroes. The hall fills with the clang of blades and the screams of the dying as the floor goes slick with steaming orcanoid viscera. Oh, for fuck's sake. When the din of battle settles, only the man from Hyamdal and Terabal remain standing. Exhausted and dripping with the entrails of their foes, the two Northmen confront the foul Nactera. The man from Hyamdal's soda-like blue eyes fill with indescribable fury. For the Northlands, he cries, rushing headlong into a desperate melee.
Cut him up, Helmdaller man! You gotta be kidding me.
What?
This is almost exactly the same as the first scene. Even the word gibbering is used twice.
In the first scene, the man from Hyamdal fought a powerful necromancer and his army of the dead. Now, he's confronting a pair of Nactera and their horde of Orkanoid thralls. The two couldn't be further apart.
Nah, that's just too silly for my taste. Okay, fine. What happens next?
An excellent question. One easily answered by purchasing the next thrilling chapter in the Hyamdalaman saga, Hyamdalaman at the Gates of Tomorrow. The last page of this one merely reads, "To be continued." Considering the sheer amount of different Hyamdalaman books out there, it's very unlikely you're ever gonna find the sequel. The man from Hyamdal stares at you on the cover, his face fixed in grim resolve.
Put the book away. Alright. Well, that was something. What else we got? Let's check this one out.
A small mountain of colorful board game boxes. There are numerous types of games for all ages. A lot of shelf space seems to be taken up by Wirral-related merchandise.
Storekeep, what board games do you have here?
Wonderful board games, sir. The Viticulturist is a classic for sure, or perhaps you'd like Archipelagos of Insulinda, a very educational game for those interested in geography. Browbritter is a fun game of economic competition, but can get quite intense after a while. We have games for the whole family. You can play with your children.
Archipelagos of Insulinda sure sounds like Settlers of Catan.
Who are you going to play board games with? Do you have friends or family?
I don't want to think about this. Wow, I have children? A family? Do I have friends? Look at the lieutenant.
Are you actually friends? Or just colleagues thrown together by circumstance?
I don't feel as if I have any kids. Yes, kids, friends, chicks, I have all those. Look at me. Who'd want to have children with me?
Don't be so hard on yourself, sir. You just need to clean up a bit. And technically, friends are a bit like family.
She fiddles her pendant.
For playing with friends, I'd recommend Suzerainty. It's a civilization building game where you build a civilization, then set off to brutally colonize.
So what about all these Wirral things?
Lousy auras there. No, role-playing games are popular among those types. You know, who are into those kind of things. Personally, I don't like it. Not at all.
The meta. She shudders.
I've heard they turn people into occult enthusiasts. That they have rituals where they try to summon entities. Highly immoral stuff. You can still buy them, though.
She looks at the table, crossing her arms. I want to buy the Suzerainty game. Look through the pile of Wirral-related items.
An endless variety of sourcebooks, lore books, and codices litter the table. The topmost book is titled Welkin Compendium, 2nd edition. There's also a large hardbound tome with intricate cover art, The Hunters of Katawak, Boreal Creature Compendium, and a pick-your-path adventure gamebook titled Tales of Wirral, Cavern of Velkrag. Books in a board game section? Who wants to read books?
Maybe I'm not into all this binoclard stuff. Anything that really catches my eye?
There's a box that says Wirral, 3rd edition Mega Setting Supplements Module. The side panel notes, a fantastique adventure board game, new maps and miniatures. A sticker on it displays 25 Rial. That price is steep, but then it's the 3rd edition Mega Setting Supplement, so it makes sense.
Leave that for now. go upstairs first. Got more shelves to check.
These shelves are overburdened with books from the same series. You see the name Dick Mullen over and over.
Storekeep, what's all this crime fiction?
Oh, crime, robberies, murders, even sexual crimes. We're fortunate to have Dick Mullen and his stories to sort all that out.
She lowers her voice.
You're a police officer, apparently. You should buy all of these. They really do teach a person how to be a proper detective.
Look through the display of books.
Crime fiction is a disgrace. An asinine misrepresentation of the physical attributes of the arduous everyday work of actual police officers. These books greatly overstate the excitement of police work, glossing over how long it takes to actually follow up on leads and eliminate dead ends. What's more, they completely ignore the psychological hardships of year after year coming into contact with people during the worst days of their lives. Not a single mention of all the stress this work creates upon the officer's family. Detective fiction just doesn't tell the truth at all. Now, would you like a list of all the books found on the shelf?
Oh god, no. Sure thing.
You see Dick Mullen on the job. Get Me Mullen. The Stalwart Adventures of Richard P. Mullen. Dick Mullen and the Murder in the Orchard. The Sordid Affair of Dick Mullen. A killing is declared. Dick Mullen in the Murder House. The Final Case of Dick Mullen. An obvious lie. Dick Mullen in the Clock Tower. The Ordeals of Dick Mullen. Dauntless Dick. Dick Mullen's Funeral Pyre. The Murder of Dick Mullen.
Actually, DLF, since you bring that up, I've done some reading about this game since I've really fallen in love with it after the last couple of streams, and it turns out the devs hate each other. Like the whole studio fell apart after they made this game. They all split apart and started like 4 different new ones. It's like the video game version of Rumors by Fleetwood Mac, you know, like everything was chaos, they couldn't stand each other, they were utterly miserable, and yet from that like crucible of pain and conflict came an absolute masterpiece. Dick Mullen dies? Are there any more? Okay, let's stop now.
Yes, there's also The Dame Who Did It. Farewell, My Mullen. Faking death seems to be a common trope in the Mullen series. The morbid tales of Dick Mullen. A dark tide turns. Tragedy calls for Dick Mullen. Another one with fake death. And, of course, Dick Mullen, the murderer. In order to catch a murderer, Dick Mullen must become the murderer. After all this, you still haven't found the answer to the one question that matters. Who is Dick Mullen?
Reaction speed, white check. Who is Dick Mullen?
Your attempt to grasp at the answer fails.
Damn!
It seems very close by, pulsating just out of reach.
Leave. Alright. Enough of that. Let's see, we got 2 more shelves and a map, looks like. Let's check them both out.
The plaque on the shelf reads, Biographies of Famous People. You see a large variety of names, none of which ring a bell.
Storekeep, anything of note in this shelf?
I would say The Greatest Innocence. Yes, most certainly. It's an important educational tool, delving into the depths of history, religion, and their relation to innocentic power.
Great, I don't need to know any more. Who or what is an innocence?
A very influential historical figure. But surely I don't have to tell you that. You're a law officer, and law officers have at least some education.
That's a bold assumption. She waves her hand as if casting aside the thought.
The book is also very daring. The author aims to re-examine the universal understandings of the innocentic system, creating a fresh vantage point and a shift in the tired order of things.
Great, I don't need to know any more. So you recommend it? I thought it was about which of these innocences is the coolest and greatest.
Certainly, it's prudent for a person to have at least an elementary understanding of history and society. Imagine the chaos we'd be in otherwise.
You know, that doesn't exactly land right in the United States in the year 2025. I'm just gonna put that little snippet out there. Oh, man.
You should get this one. Definitely. It's important somehow. There's something personal inside.
I'm interested in that Greatest Innocence book. Look through the display of books.
Browsing through all the books with all their names makes your head spin. None of these seem important or relevant. It's all just vapid egoism. Suddenly, a particularly odd title catches your eye. It reads, High Speed Love, the tragic true love story of Jacob Irv and Alfie Delatraz, by one Cecilia Averbrook.
What's it about?
High Speed Love chronicles the romance between two of the finest tip-top tourney racers in history. One of them is the madcap driver, Jacob Irv. His blonde mane graces the cover. Next to Irv's life story, you see a slim biography of an Occidental rock star called the Anti-Star. He's famous for shooting morphine into one of his eyeballs and cocaine into the other.
Oh my.
Next to that, Rivasholian radio personality Guillaume Bevy stands in front of a rundown drug den. He's a permanent fixture on Channel 8, reporting on real-life crime and ruining cops' days.
I really must insist you buy one of the books. Reading them is not for free. Do still browse though, but not too long.
You're interrupted by the shopkeep.
I'm sorry, I did not mean to rush you. You are browsing. Go ahead. Take your time. Time is commerce.
Probably do this later. We got one more shelf and then the map to check out.
This bookstore is not strictly about crime, romance, and biographies of famous people. There's also a wide range of paranatural literature.
Look through the shelf. Storekeep, what books are these?
Sir, please, no browsing in that shelf. That wisdom is not for free.
She narrows her eyes.
I can't have you end up, like, opening a police store next door and stealing my customers. Oh no!
Look through the shelf.
Amidst the various books, you find one written by someone named Matthias W. Dundas. It's about wholeness, unity, balance. The point of the book, and many others on this shelf, is to give people medicinal advice in situations where they don't have access to paid health services.
Why do I feel like the United States is just getting fucking roasted here? Uh-huh, interesting. How does that work?
It serves platitudes, while also telling everyone that traditional medicine, the kind people don't have access to, and which costs more than this book, is garbage, and would only give you cancer anyway, without even curing your cold or anything. Wholeness, unity, balance, on the other hand, can basically take care of anything. Though it is important to note,
God damn it! This is like RFK! Right here!
when it's up to your mind to heal yourself, then it's because of your mind that you're ill in the first place.
Uh-huh, interesting. Does the book say anything else?
The book features chapters on topics such as how to find magnesium. It even lists plants you can harvest magnesium from. How to continue drinking if you're an alcoholic who has destroyed his liver. And there's even a chapter on the ancient Seraïs tradition of using duck gallbladder preservatives to treat and prevent sexually transmitted diseases. Pre and post factum apply. Nothing worth buying. This is just mundane garbage. What's even paranatural about this?
+1 heard about the curse. White check to find something truly otherworldly.
The throbbing in your head increases with every passing moment you gaze at this shelf. Suddenly, as if out of nowhere, a small green book becomes apparent. The title of it reads, Medicinal Purposes of the Pale.
That's all I need to know. What's this book about? What's the pale?
The book contains very little explanation on the matter. This knowledge seems to be taken for granted.
What's this book about?
The book contains descriptions of various pseudoscientific therapies, alternative medicines, and folk remedies involving the pale, also known as le territoire. For example, it recommends vigorously swatting one's naked body with a venik, or hand broom, made from the leafy twigs of a young birch tree from the near Pale.
Sounds invigorating. Sounds painful.
It is supposedly invigorating and good for the circulation.
I think I've heard enough. What else?
It also recommends consuming distilled spirits like vodka or whiskey that have been aged in the Pale. Readers are instructed to cover these jars in a shallow hole just inside the Pale and leave them there for 30 to 60 days, depending on the potency desired.
And what does this pale-aged liquor do?
Among other benefits, it is alleged to restore a damaged liver to perfect health. That seems improbable.
I should probably get my hands on some of that. What else is in there? How is that possible? I think I've heard enough.
Is it any more improbable than anything else that human beings put their faith in?
Savage, but it's not wrong. I think I've heard enough. Fair enough. What else is in there?
For general health and well-being, readers are encouraged to take regular strolls through the Pale, though a sidebar cautions readers to limit each stroll to less than an hour. These strolls promise to cleanse the mind of worries and the body of toxins, especially if the perambulator performs this ritual in the nude. Nudity figures prominently in a number of these prescriptions. This is exactly what you need.
Huh. Anything else of note?
There's an entire section devoted to cures for men who are struggling to perform their marital obligations.
Well, I certainly don't need that. I probably need that.
Excuse me, sir. I believe you've been perusing that particular volume long enough. If you'd like to continue reading, I must insist you buy it.
Leave. Alright, let's check out the map.
Several maps have been attached to a bulletin board hidden inside the alcove. They're held up by small pins. The board has come loose from one corner.
You know, I don't know if it's better. It's probably a little better, but, I mean, the UK is right up there with us in going full fascist to defend a genocide, so... I don't know, is it better or worse that your leaders are at least smarter than ours? Given that they're, like, equivalent levels of evil.
The maps look old and faded. Your eye catches a map of Insulinda, a map of Revachol, and a map of Martinez.
Look at the map of Insulinda.
This large map displays archipelagos. You see a constellation of small dots on the light blue emptiness of the Insulindic Ocean. The largest in the northeast is La Caillou. You are here. Another far away in the southwest, Seminese Islands, Ile de Fantôme.
What else?
Ozon, Laurentide, Fas Alamir, Archipelagos, North Arcade Islands, all just specks of dust on the vastness of the Insulindic. On the edges of the map, the color fades into a blur of dotted lines, black and white.
Too high on painkillers to care. Well, that's nice. I mean, I wish you weren't hurt.
Disintegrating into mathematics. In the northeast, a dust mite stands on the north coast of Caillou, in a bookstore. It's you.
Look at the edges. Squint first. Can you see cities on the islands?
You can, on Caillou, Revachol, a single black star, on Ozon, Fondelier, and Vilmandu, on archipelagos, Croyan Moran, Villiers, on Seminine, Olduvai, and on Laurentide, Deora of the Seven Seas. 850 million people live on these little dots, an oceanic world of culture and commerce torn apart by history.
Look at the edges.
The ocean breaks apart into a tangle of cosines and azimuths, all pointing into pale nothingness. Windy is the north azimuth. Grad is the northeast azimuth. Samara is the east azimuth. Seo is the west azimuth. Isolas, they're called. Connections to other worlds. Words past the Insulindian, unknown to you. You only know you've never been there. You have little idea what they are. Distant stars, gods, but looking at them makes you feel almost non-existent. Whatever they are, the Isolas are immeasurably large compared to you, and very, very far away. Perhaps they are gods, gods of distance and outer dust.
Failed that one. Look at the map of Revachol.
The north coast of a verdant island is shattered by the delta of a river. It is the River Esperance. Countless bridges put the shards back together, connecting city blocks to river islands. La Delta says a great artificial heart in the center, teeming with life forms and construction. To the east, rolling hillsides, Le Jardin, Stella Marie, the suburbs of Saint-Baptiste, swallowed up into the megacity. They sound rich to you. This is Revachol East.
And west of the river?
Hudon. It's somewhere to live. Not bad. Then there's Jamrock. It's bad. People shouldn't live there, but they do. Then Forberg. It's almost as bad, and much larger. Then Coal City. It's the worst. You feel you're just west of Coal City, somewhere above Jamrock and close to Coal City.
Look at the map of Martinez.
It's not really a map. It's a tourist thing. A picture postcard with buildings on it, drawn from an isometric perspective. A date in the upper right corner says 48. Still, it's detailed. Could be pretty useful for scouting ahead. You see the jagged boxes of an industrial harbor, even the whirling in rags there.
Storekeep, can I buy these maps?
I'm sorry, officer. The map of Martinez is the only one available. The other two are not for sale anymore. And besides, you could scarcely afford them. They're quite valuable, though they might not look it. The map of Martinez is 90 cents, though.
You seem to underestimate my resources, but sure, okay. Why is the one of Martinez so cheap?
That old thing. It's an out-of-date map of a tourist location that never was nor came to be. From when some design studio people tried to spruce the place up 4 or 5 years ago. They also renovated the horse statue, set up those coin-operated viewers, and designed the new street lamps.
What happened then?
They didn't get that far, for some reason. A shame the project never got going. Would be nice if someone fixed Martinez up. All these ruins are bad for business.
I want to buy the map of Martinez. A white interfacing check to try and steal it. Let's do that.
Slowly, you move your hand toward the map attached to the board. Before you even reach the map, you're interrupted.
Perhaps not. It's against RCM policy to defraud small business owners.
The lieutenant coughs sharply, then whispers. I want to buy the map of Martinez.
Always good to be informed of your surroundings.
Alright, and so with that... Map of Martinez. A worn and torn map of the Martinez area dating from 48. A title on the top reads, Bienvenue à Revachol. It's a bit out of date, as it was originally created by a design studio in a failed attempt to spruce up Martinez and turn it into a fancy tourist location. Interact.
The worn map features the patchwork grid of the streets of Martinez, with directions to appropriately touristy locations.